Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully we have audio and we are 5x5. Let me know in the chat. I am back at the desk and I got to tell you, this is challenging when you change up your studio and you add new equipment and you're used to looking one direction. So thank you so much for joining me live. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios and we are week 2 on the Rodecaster video live. I'm going to get out the back glasses and change so I can see the chat a little bit better. But it's good to have you here. We are going to see if we can get the chat overlay to work tonight. That will be interesting. And I'm going to give it my best, but I got the back glasses on and we will put them back in the other ones back in the case till after the stream. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I have an echo because I am listening to the audio. So yeah, good morning to some of you. Good evening for some of you. Good afternoon for others. I just am glad that you guys joined me again. I apologize. Last week's live stream was a little challenging without question. Let's just go ahead here in the chat right now. And let's do this. Let's just get some hellos going here. See if I get this on the air here. Yeah, it's a little see-through, but welcome to Grish. Grish popped in earlier because I've had the stream ready since last night. So let me know, Grish, if you are back in the live stream. Good to see Hank here tonight. And again, just only monitor I have is behind me. So, and David, good morning. So we have 3 people for sure that have said hi. I'm not sure if all of you are here in the chat are available, but I'm glad that you guys joined me. We have a couple things that we're going to do tonight. We are going to unbox this stand by Rode. It's called the DS2. So we are going to unbox that. And I do have a poll up tonight, and I'd love to get your guys' feedback. Again, let me know right now in the chat if the audio sounds good and the video looks good. Because again, last week we had a glitch in the audio, and I do have the monitor on. So it sounds okay, but just let me know if you guys are hearing it okay wherever you are. So the other thing that we're going to do tonight is we're going to continue to talk about the Rodecaster video. I've had it now for over 2 weeks, and I've had a chance to spend quite a bit of time with it. Today, I actually downloaded the Stream Deck plugin. I have some buttons on my Stream Deck. We're going to take a look at those. I've only had a little bit of time to play around with those, but so far so good. So David says the audio is good. That's great. Sorry that the chat doesn't look perfect on the screen. We will actually mess with that. Yeah, and that's a good heads up from Hank. He says, make sure I hit record. So let's go ahead and hit the record button. Yeah, I was having trouble getting it to record earlier tonight, and now it seems to be giving me problems. So it's not recording. I don't know what is going on. So we will have to roll tonight without recording. I am streaming. It looks good, but I do not have the ability to get the record. The green little arrow went away. So let me pull this disc. Plug it back in here. Sorry about the audio. See if we can get our little button to go green. Nada. So let's try a different disc here. Please stand by. We are going to try a different disc. Well, we are not getting it to record. I have tried 2 different drives. I do not know what's going on, but I am thankful that we are live. I did test recording earlier and it seemed to record fine. It was hesitating when I was trying to stop recording. So in the test, so I'm not sure what is going on, but we are live and I think so far the audio is still good. Let me just listen to it. Yeah, so it is working. Well, so first of all, I wanted to talk just a little bit about my experience so far with the Rodecaster video. I've been in the studio now with it off and on throughout the last 2 weeks, and I'm starting to feel like I have an idea of what's going on here with this. And obviously, my experience has been... go to scene C here. My experience has been pretty good. There is a lot of difference between it and the ATEMs for sure. You know, ATEMs are been around for a while. Started with the ATEM Mini. It has 4 inputs. Then they went to the Extreme, and it has 8 inputs. So you can auto switch from the buttons on the front, but when you get to the Rodecaster video, and let me change screens here real quick again. Let's see. Don't need the key on right now, so let me turn that off. And let's change Windows here to which one? Let's create one here. So we are going to go into G right here. And we are going to click on a template. No, let's go custom. We're going to make 3 layers here. This first layer, we're going to drag in my background. This next layer, we're going to put me in it. Now it's going to be input 5. And then this input, we are going to put input 4. Is it 4? Yeah, 4 is what we want. And then we're going to shrink 4 down. Bring 5 up. So as you can see, I've had some time to play around with this and actually make some layouts. And now let me switch to this layout here real quick. So now this is the layout I just created, and you can see as you look at the front of this device, and sorry, I'm looking, let's change cameras in G. Let's change camera 5 to, let's do camera 1. And let's switch sides. And let's crop this a little bit. So as I've been playing with this, I do like the scenes. And again, as we switch back here to E, switch back to E, you can see the layout that I've created. You can see that I have all of these scenes here. Let's go through them. Here's scene A, here's scene B, here's scene C, D, that's multi-view and me. E, the one that we're on right now. F, that's got multi-view and the software from my PC in it. And G. And G lets us just look at the front of the Rodecaster, and that's the one that I want to talk about here real quick. So let's switch to that view. G, cut to it. So now you're looking at G, and I'm going to follow my microphone over here a little bit. So you have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G buttons. And these can be scenes. This is the scene button right here. These can be like JPEGs. This would be the overlay button right here. And then they also can be media files. So I can literally upload videos, and I'll show you what that looks like. So right here is, and this is an update from today. Let's see, what camera am I on now? This is an update from today. So now you got to go up here, and if I wanted to see videos, I click on this little arrow right here on the left-hand side in the media library. And then these are the videos I have loaded. So this is a background that moves. This is my intro. This is my outro. And this is a subscribe logo. And so then you can drag these over these different A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if I hit the media button right here, the video button, then now it shows you I have a video loaded in A, and I have a video loaded in B. I don't have anything loaded in C, D, E, F, or G. So let's just drag. Let's see, what would we do here? Let's just drag the background over. And again, this is my animated background. I'm on the static background right now. And let's put it on G so I don't hit it by accident. So it is now loaded in G, and I could take the animated subscribe logo and load it on F. And so these are now loaded, and I can cut to these. So anytime I have this button turned on, then now I can literally cut to this. So if I was to cut to G right now, now you have the background. Yeah, you still have audio. And then if I cut back, so I can cut back and forth to that. Then I could also change to F. Here's the subscribe logo. I'd have to use that as an overlay layer, but it is loaded now, so I can use it. So that is the video layers. And then if we continue over here and we'll close videos and just open graphics. So here's my graphics. So I have different backgrounds. I have a picture of my little Batman thing, picture from Nashville, sorry. This is my logo, which is right below us right now, because that layer is on, and I'll talk about that here in a second. And then you have the still image from tonight. You have the Rodecaster video, which is a PNG file, and then my background. And my background's being used right now, and so is the logo. So you can have background layers, and you can have foreground layers, and we'll talk about how you do that here in just a minute. So back to the, where are you? Turn those off. Where is it? G. Cut back to G here again. So these buttons can be programmed scene buttons, which we created G together tonight. And they can also be media buttons. So these are my media buttons. So it's back to scenes. And then I push the overlay buttons. Then these are my overlays. Now, right now, because I'm in a scene, you have a background layer and a foreground layer. And that I don't have to use the keys to do that right now. I'm using the scene device or the scene layer ability of the Rodecaster video. So I can create the scene. I can have 5 layers. I could even add audio to a scene if I wanted to. And it's there as a layer, and it will play when I make that scene active, and I can set that audio to loop. I can set it to go play through once. And I also set media to play. And then when they're done playing, they'll automatically make a transition to another scene. And so that's how I did my opening tonight. But my outro video is my intro video is a little longer than I wanted it to be. So for whatever it's worth, I didn't do that automatic switch over. I went ahead and cut to my main camera. And that main camera, let's turn the button off, get to the scenes here. I have my scenes. Yeah, and A is my main layout. So this is my main layout, and that way you see the same thing you've been seeing when I'm live with the ATEM in my studio. And I'm not using my ATEMs tonight. I don't have my Extreme on. Either one of them. I don't have my ATEM Mini on. I am only doing all of this using the Rodecaster video. Now, in order to get the multi-view in, let me bring it on the air. 3, and let's make sure I still have audio. Yes. So this is the multi-view, and we're going to take a look at that in a second on the screen with me on it as well, but you can see me because I'm in the multi-view. So let's cut back to, let's see, scene G here. So now I'm back in scene G, and the nice thing about this, and the thing I like, which is confusing, takes a while to get used to it, is these buttons are multi-use. I wish the ATEM had the ability to hit a shift key and they would be able to do something else. I also wish Rode had a over button so you could have a button. So it'd be nice to have a little teeny LCD top that says bank 1, bank 2, bank 3. So you could not only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scenes, it would be great to be able to do 3 pages or 4 pages of scenes like you can in a Stream Deck or something like that. So that's super exciting about this as well. So let's shift back to A here real quick, and let's switch to go to chat on the air here. And what do we got here? It's good to have you, Noel. Saw that you popped in, and don't have a ton of people here tonight, but I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. Thank you for joining the live stream. Turn that chat back off. And so, overlay off. So right now, this scene has just the background. And then it has my camera, this camera right here, and I have it cropped down a little bit. And then I have the logo down below me, and that's right here. I wish I had a confidence monitor, and that takes some getting used to. And I will have to rewire the studio to have the confidence monitors like I normally do. And that's totally true, David. I am starting to get the hang of it. And I know you have one. I'd be interested to see how familiar you are. Have you live streamed from your Rodecaster video, David, or not? It is a great tool, and it does take some getting used to for sure. So I'm going to cover more on the front of this here. So let's go to this scene again. Where are you? Need to memorize these scenes. So I'm in G. So you have the top row of buttons, and the bottom row of buttons are pretty simple. You have button 1, which is camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4. And those are HDMI inputs. So these are the 2 outputs. It's the opposite of an ATEM. The ATEM would have the outputs on this side, and the ATEM Mini has 1 output unless you have the SDI version, and then it has 2 outputs. This has 2 outputs, which is great. I have them both set to multi-view. One of these is looping back in right here, so I can show multi-view live. And then the other one is going out to multi-view, and multi-view is on a monitor right left of this camera. And if I cut to camera 1, no, it's cut to camera 5. Cut to camera 5, then the multi-view is actually right here. So I have multi-view, and I can see that you guys are just seeing me on camera 1. So if I wanted, let's just make sure I have audio, I do. So if I wanted to bring on my logo now, then I would go into the software. Got to change mice every time I change devices, and then locate my and I'm going to show you guys this. Locate my logo, which is in the first button. And after I hit the logo button, let me show you what that looks like. That's in, let's see here. Got to turn the logo button back off. I need, let's just go to F now. So in F, you can see both the multi-view, what camera am I on? Yeah. You can see both the multi-view and you can see the software. So watch what changes in the multi-view when I hit these buttons here on the top right. So if you look in the bottom right box, there's this row of buttons. And if we cut back, let's see, we cut back to 4. This is the row of buttons right here. So the media button, the overlay button, this is the scene builder button, and then this is just a key button. this would light up if I was using a green screen, and I did bring a green screen tonight for us to pop on the air. So those buttons change what you can see in the multi-view on these buttons. So let me change back. And now watch the buttons light up right here in the bottom right-hand box. You're going to see them change what's in the top row in the bottom section of the multi-view. So again, if we change back to camera 5, you've got the preview right here, and you got the program right here. It's red right now. This is what you guys are seeing. This is ready to go. So if I was just to hit the cut button, and I'll do it in the software, it cuts immediately back and forth. If I hit the auto button in the bottom of the software, then it just does an auto transition, and I can change the size or change the transitions as well. And it's in the bottom right-hand box down here. So you can see the timing down here, and you can see the different transitions. So again, I can go to a wipe, do a barn door wipe now, and we'll do this kind of barn door wipe. Now, as I hit auto, it did a barn door wipe, and I can change how long. Let's do a 1.5-second barn door wipe. There you go, and wipe back. So then we'll change this back to the default fade and back to a 0.5 second fade here. And now if I hit auto, it does a 0.5 second fade. And actually, I like the fact that I can do 3/4 second. So I'll do 3/4 second, and I kind of like that a little bit better. Okay. So you have the ability to change what's in the top row of the multi-view small boxes. So as I hit the media, you can see what's in that row of boxes changed. And the best way to let you see this is to go to camera 3, full screen. Check, making sure I still have audio. So you have the 2 preview program views, and then right below that you have the row A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then to the right of that you have media and overlay, so you can see what I'm in. So now I'm going to turn off media and turn on overlay. Now you can see the overlay comes on in blue on the right. That lets you know you have overlays on, and then you have all the overlays going across the screen. And then if I turn that off, then it goes back to the scenes. So media in the top row of boxes, overlays or JPEGs or PNGs, whatever you have there, and then the scenes. And then if I want to build scenes, this button's going to come on when I'm building scenes. And when you want to build a scene, you're just going to want to click on the scene. So now that this is off and this is off, and you can see up here, it doesn't say media or overlay. Now I can just click on the scenes and see each one of my scenes, and I could change these and rebuild these. F is hot right now, and then G, which is the one we built with me and the Rodecaster video. So again, quite intuitive. Let's switch back to this. So those buttons are right here. So if I was live at an event and I want to run it from here, I know that if this is lit up, then I can change to my media, and I can cut from camera 1 to A. So watch, I can cut from, actually this will play my intro video. So let's play one of these two. So I'm going to go to camera 1 and make sure I have audio here. Check. Yep. And then I'm going to cut to F. Here we go. And back again. Or I could cut to G. And back again. So I can cut to those different areas. So I know it's lit up. And now I can hit overlays. Now, this overlay is live because it's lit up. And that means that right now, G is ready to go live. And if I click the media off, G stays red. If I click overlays on here, then I have access to all my overlays. None of these are live. Let's bring the logo on the air. So there's my logo. And this stays red when I have my logo on. So if I turn my logo off and then hit this button, it doesn't. It goes gray. But if I turn my logo on and turn this button off, now it shows me red. That's to let me know that I have an overlay on if I glance down at it and I'm not in the overlay layer. So let's leave that on just for a second here, because we did not add a logo to this scene. So we'll just leave that on purpose. So turn that to overlay layer, turn it off, and then I hit the media. So if I had media playing, so let's go ahead and play this logo again and cut to it. Let me cut back. So these change light as you're using them. So it takes some time. It's a little confusing, but as you play around with it, you're going to get more and more ability to do that. And figure out how to use those. So let's go over here real quick. Turn this overlay on. That's not what I wanted. Turn this overlay off. Let's cut back to camera 1. And let's turn this overlay on. And let's see if I can, say hi to DJ Ware. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me. We're kind of running through the Rodecaster video right now, covering the buttons on the front. That's really what I wanted to try to bite off tonight. We might do a little green screen work here in just a minute. I do have the green screen behind me, but thank you so much, DJ Ware, for joining me. Also, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. It does really help the algorithm. So appreciate that. Okay, let's go back to the Rodecaster and let's go back to scenes here. And let's go back to scene G and turn the overlay off. So now I am using a button on my Stream Deck. Sorry about that. I am using a button on my Stream Deck right now, which is great. I also have a wireless mic on, and so we'll play with this as well. It is actually attached to the Rodecaster video. You have 2 wireless microphones that can be received in your Rodecaster video. You can still have 2 XLR microphones, so you could have up to 4 microphones inside the Rodecaster video at the same time. Again, that's something you cannot do with an ATEM. You can't attach wireless microphones to it. Now you do need to have the microphones by Rode. So the Rode Wireless Go 2, the new Pro, the new Wireless Go 3, I think, and I think the Mi all will attach. And the new handheld microphone, which is like $300, pretty good microphone. Rode knows how to make microphones. They've been making microphone for years. So that's something you should take a look at if you ever get a chance. I want to get one of those wireless microphones to be able to walk around and do interviews. Like if I was doing a wedding or a funeral, you would want a wireless microphone for the guests' honor to do a toast or whatever you might in a funeral. If you were doing a funeral live with a Rodecaster video, people would get up and maybe share some thoughts and some memories of who's deceased or something like that. Or if you were just doing a live concert, a live event, then you would probably want to hook in something like the boards that I have and use the 2 quarter-inch inputs on the back. So you have XLR combo jacks. So they're XLR quarter inches, and then you can plug into quarter-inch jacks, change it to line level, and then split the right and left, and you would be able to bring in a whole console inside the Rodecaster Video, or you could take a Rodecaster Pro 2 and have 4 inputs plus a call-in person or a call-me person. So there's lots of things you can do with that just using USB-C. You can plug a USB microphone into the same channel that you would plug in a Rodecaster Duo or Rodecaster Pro 2 into it. And again, the Duo has 2 microphones just like the Rodecaster Video. In fact, basically, the Rodecaster Video has like a Rodecaster Duo built into it. But you could still add a Rodecaster Duo to it as well, and that would give you 2 more microphones plus a call me person could call in. And hopefully, eventually, Rode's going to do something with being able to bring in a video caller. I don't know when that will take place, but it would be really, really cool if they do that. Okay, so the A, B, C, D, E, F, G rows can do 3 different things. Again, scenes as primary, then you can do MP4s, and they all have to be 1920 by 1080. All the graphics have to be 1920 by 1080. So you have 3 layers. So again, a layer of scenes, a layer of graphics, and a layer of media that can play. And that's really nice to be able to play video back in here. So this is the record button. And like I said, right now it would be green if it was reading my SD drives. This is the one I had plugged in, and right now it was reading, it was recording, but for some reason why we're live, it's not. So I am not recording tonight. I only have what's going out to YouTube. Okay, so again, for green screen button, we're gonna look at this in a minute, and then the scene button. So over here, you have the auto. That's the transition button for doing nice transitions, and I can get to the transitions right here. There's fade, there's dip, there is wipe, there is fade, dip, wipe. And so let's say I wanted to do different dips, click on it. Let's see, fades, wipes. So here's the different wipes I can do. Let's go back to fades. That's all I can do with that. There's no touch. Dip. No touch. Wipes. All these different wipes are available. So let's do this wipe real quick. Let's go home. So there you go. Nice and fast. I can tap on the time and add more time to that wipe. Change that back to the default fade. And I'd have to go back into the timing section right here to set that back. I'll adjust it back. And I'm just tapping, so I can do different increments in the software than I can on here. This is increments of 0.5. So I can do 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So we'll just set this for 0.5 seconds. So then here's all the main settings. So I could go in here and change what is going out HDMI A. I could go multi-view, program, preview, or any of the cameras. So I got to keep this on multi-view. Hit enter if I wanted to change it, but we're not going to change it. We're just going to go back to this screen. So I could go through USB, HDMI out B, USB 1, NDI output, frame rates, settings, switching settings. Again, HDMI A, so we'll go back. So I have multi-track recording, audio delay for lip sync. This is the device settings, like the networking and all that stuff. Storage, that's the SD drive that's in the back, as well as the USB when you have these working, obviously. And so video storage, device, audio delay, multi-track, back to video again. So hit the home screen. Then you have audio settings. So I can see what mics are on. So combo is on right now. The wireless is muted. If I pushed this button down, it will unmute the wireless microphone. So let's go back and mute the combo. And now I am talking to you on the wireless mic. A little hot. Check, check, check. So this is the wireless mic going out into the live stream. And that's 5x5. It looks like it. Again, a little hot, but now I'm on the wireless microphone, so I can hold this down, go back home, hit that again, and I could go, that's the combo, the wireless, USB 5. This is where I would bring in the Rodecaster Pro 2 in USB 5, and it's not plugged in right now to the Rodecaster 2. I'm doing all my audio directly through, so my SM7b mic is going right into XLR Combo 1, and XLR Combo 2 is empty, but we'll plug something into that here before the end of the night after we unbox the new microphone holder. So USB 5 is muted, video clips is muted, sounds are muted. So again, you can play sounds in here using the media pads. USB 1 and check. So we're going to mute the wireless. Check. And now we've unmuted the combo microphones. So you can get to home screen, you can get to the fadings, back to home. You can get to how long they fades work right there. You can go to the audio settings, and you can go to the internal settings, all from the LCD screen. Now, you also have the inspect button, and we'll come back to that. So again, this would go to record. If they had the drive plugged in, there'd be a little green light right there. And then this would turn red when you're recording, green when you're not recording, and that's not working right now for whatever reason. But again, we always have something that's not working at these deals. Oh, what do we got here? Let's get back to scene G. I don't know what happened. So again, all these screens are available, the fade, the time. Again, it just lights up green. Then I can change it once that's green. Settings, and then audio settings, all available for here, and use this scroll rule to get around. Now, we'll go back to home on that. This button, right now I'm on headphone set 1. There's 2 headphone jacks, and then this is the main audio out for room speakers. So if I push it once, it goes to headphone 2. Push it again, it goes to the speakers inside the studio. I don't have any speakers hooked up. And then back to headphone 1, and then I have volume control for my headphones. Now, the inspect button's quite interesting. So we're going to turn this on in the software. So let's change scenes here to scene F. And now that you guys are in scene F, you can still see this. But I'm going to go ahead and you can watch the button turn on. So now see the little green light. Now I can go through and look what's on each of these buttons. There's button A, I can inspect it. I can inspect button C, and I can see the settings. So if I need to change something real quick, I can do this without affecting the program. You can see the program is not changing, even though you guys are seeing what the inspect button does in my preview window. Again, my preview window is on the top left of the small box above on the top right. And then again, I can inspect each of these buttons using the inspect window. And then I'm going to cut back right now to this camera angle. So let me turn the inspect button off. Let me cut back to G. Let me turn the inspect button back on. And you can see it changes the color of the buttons. So that's with the inspect button off. That's with the inspect button on. It says inspect. Tap a button to inspect. So it tells me what's going on with scene A, B, and you need the software to really do anything with this. But you can see it is changing on the screen, and it's letting me know that G is live right now, but I can still inspect it. And when I inspect it, it literally changed to it. And I'll do it again, turn the inspect button on, and I'll hit button G, and it lights it up, and now it's off. So that's all the buttons on the front of this device. So again, we've covered all of these buttons. You got camera one. Oh, let's do the cameras. So this is camera one, and I'm going to cut to it. Camera two, cut to it. That's my laptop. Camera three, that's the multi-view that I have looped in. Camera four, right here, you can see in the multi-view. Camera five. Now, camera five is actually, what camera am I in? Camera five, do I have audio right now? Let's just make sure. Check. Yeah. Camera five is a cam link plugged in to the device, and camera six is a webcam plugged in. So here's camera five, and that's me, my main camera. And basically I'm coming out of my camera into a cam link, which is a Elgato cam link. It's a 4K HDMI to USB 3 device, and you have to adapt it down from a regular USB output to a, see if I have one in here. Thought I did. There it is. To a USB-C. And so that is plugged in the back. So right now I have, let's go through them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras plugged in. This is the Elgato face cam right here, showing you my desk. This is my EOS R right here, and you can see it in the multi-view behind me as I'm tapping on channel 6. No, 5. So 6 is my webcam. 5 is my EOS R plugged into the cam link, and I will point at that here real quick. Let's cut back to G. So cam link's right here, just out of camera. Let me shrink this down so you guys can see it. So this is the cam link plugged in right here to an adapter. And that's all I can show you of it right now without adjusting my camera. Let's see, can I adjust my camera up a bit? No. So, and I just had this cropped in. So let me show you guys that again. Sorry. Cam link right here. You can just see the part of it. And I just cropped this in so it would be more of a close-up for us tonight. So I have a video device plugged into all of those. The last button right here that we haven't talked about is to fade to black. So you don't want to push that button because this covers everything in what I have on the screen. It is going to be black if I mess with that button. So, so I have this camera tonight, and I have this camera right here tonight. I also have the little webcam right here to show you. It does have some webcams work with it. You'll have to look at the list. But again, have a webcam. I have a cam link plugged in for this camera view. And then I have traditional HDMI input 1, input 2, input 3, and input 4. And again, I'm cheating because I have looped the multi-view out of one of the HDMI outs back in so that I could show you guys the multi-view full screen. And again, multi-view full screen is on input 4. And there you go. And I can still talk to you when we're in this view because I'm in the preview right now, as well as the multi-view is in the program. So again, once you kind of figure this out, then this is the kind of layout you can get. I can change the multi-view layout as well. And so I'm going to go in to the settings window. Let me close this. Let me go into settings under, I don't know why recording is not working. I turned ISO off. So this is studio mode that you're seeing. And let me show you what I'm looking at right now. So let me go to scene E. So in the settings menu right here. So basically when you open things up, when you open the software, you click on the device. So if I had my Rodecaster Pro plugged in, it would be right here. But you click on this device, and then this is the window for building scenes. And this is what I leave open almost all the time. This is the audio. I need to see this to see what audio device. And I can add audio devices. I have to delete one of these. This is as many as you can have. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do different mixes for all of these. I'm working on the live mix right now, but I could go to my monitor mix. I could go to my headphone mix too. I could make a custom headphone mix if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it to live mix. I could even adjust USB 5, which is what comes into my Rodecaster Pro. I can make it a live mix or a custom mix. And so you have control over all of these different audio frames. And again, you can see the live stream been going on for an hour right here and then recording. But again, I don't have recording working right now. So we'll close that. Can't mess with stream profiles while I'm live, but that just lets me set up my Facebook or my YouTube stream and name that stream. And I could do different locations. I could have one profile for Facebook, one profile for YouTube, another one for other sites, but that's grayed out when you're live. And then auto switching, we'll talk about that in a future video. That uses the audio that you assign to different camera angles. And when that microphone's live, it will switch to that camera angle. And you can even bring a Rodecaster Pro 2 or a Duo in, even though it only feeds a stereo in from the USB-C 2 port out of the Rodecaster Duo, Rodecaster Pro 2, USB-C 2, but the stereo signal that comes in to USB 5 in the Rodecaster Video, when you go into the auto switching page, you're going to actually be able to assign mic 1, 2, 3, or 4 as a source to change cameras. So I have 5 cameras. I could set each of those camera angles that I've showed you guys. Again, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, and then again, back to G. I could set all of these up. All of these inputs could have a different microphone assigned to it. So this could be 1 of the Rodecaster Pro 2. This could be 2 of the Rodecaster Pro 2. This could be 3 of the Rodecaster Pro 2. This could be 4 of the Rodecaster Pro 2. This could be the wireless microphone I have on right now from the Rodecaster Video, or this could be combo jack 1. This could be combo jack 2. And you can see I have more audio inputs with a Rodecaster Pro 2 attached than I do have video sources to automatically switch. So that auto switching feature is pretty cool. And that's found right here. I'll just click on it real quick and show you the screen. So you go to next, and then you go through these different settings until you get to getting started. And we're not going to mess with that for right now. And you can turn this off so it doesn't show you again. So you automatically go to that page. And I have not even been on that page yet. And then here it is, auto switching. And so you can set all of this up, the different priorities. So right here is where you link your audio, and you can do a neutral setting. You could do fast. You could do relaxed. There's relaxed, and that changes how it would switch to these inputs. So you could assign audio to the scenes. You could assign audio to the inputs. And again, that's pretty incredible. And you can turn scenes on and off. So we'll play with that in a live stream sometime soon. So audio meters, scene builder, device configuration. Here's your video. Here's your audio. Here's your display brightness. Here's your network settings, and then your system settings, and that would have my key, so we're not going to click on those. Back to scene build. Oh, let's do one more thing. Let's go back to audio. And then if I click on the channel, here's where I can set all the effects built into the Rodecaster video right here. So here's effects for mic 1, and I can go through all of the mic effects: high pass filter, de-esser, noise gate, compressor, 3-band EQ, exciter, and panning. And I also have a master compeller that's available to me. So combo 1 all the way through to HDMI 3. And again, it's based on which ones I have enabled in this screen right here. So if I had the other channels enabled, then the effects would be available for those. But this is what I have enabled tonight right here. So if I didn't want to have HDMI 3, which I don't really need tonight, I can click on it. And if I wasn't live, I could delete it. I haven't seen the ability to change these when you're live. But I'm still messing with that. And you've got basic, processing, and then advanced available. So, okay. So let's go back to the scene page. Let's bring my logo on the air on the bottom. Then let's go into here. Let's change screens here. Let's go ahead and change back to scene A. That's not scene A. Scene A. What is going on here? I have the overlays on. Okay. What? Okay. Overlays are on. Scene A, cut. Weird. Oh, you guys have scene A. And let's turn the overlay off. Yeah, I only need one logo on right now. Okay, so what I want to do is let's look at the chat and see if you guys have any questions or comments. David says, camera 1 looks way sharper. What is it? Camera 5 looks a little flat and slightly overexposed. Okay, well, camera 1 is the HDMI input directly in. Camera 5 is me using the cam link. So again, I'm not saying using a cam link in USB input 4 or 5 is the best way to go. But that's why this camera doesn't look as crisp, because with the Rodecaster video, I only have 4 inputs, and I'm using 1 for this camera right here. I'm using 2 for my laptop, 3 for the multi-view looped back in, 4 is for my key so I can bring chat on the air so you can see the chat. 5 is this cam link shot, which isn't perfect like you're saying. And 6 is this Elgato face cam, not the Pro, but the face cam, and it has no focus. So you got to keep things semi-distance from it because it only focuses from 3 feet. You can see what kind of focus it gets. It does not autofocus. So that's the downside of the face cam, but it does have it does have the ability to come in as a webcam in the Rodecaster video. It doesn't support all the webcams, so keep that in mind. So good to have you. Sorry you're late, but it's good to have you in the chat. K9 Striker, which is Sean, and it's good to have you. So, okay. So that is kind of a basic look at the Rodecaster video. I've covered a lot of it. There's still a lot more that we will be covering in a live stream. Again, we're going to be doing this for a little while until we've gone through it. But we do have an unboxing to do tonight. So let's get to the unboxing. And because David likes this camera angle better, let's see. Let's change what camera is in scene A. Let's go to camera 1 and switch things up here a little bit. Again, let's see if I can change the lighting. And cut. This is camera 2 lighting. It's a little yellow, but we'll live with it. So we should have audio. It looks like we still have audio. So what I want to do is change a camera here real quick. So we're going to unplug my camera that's on my Rodecaster video. So we're going to steal, let's turn the chat off here real quick. We are going to steal camera 4, which I've actually got camera 4 assigned with a key and then brought into E. So in one of my scenes, no, actually one of my overlays. So the E overlay would double this up right now. So I'm not going to turn that on. So, but if I transition right now, you'll see it's transparent because this is the overlay version and this is just channel 4 version. So we're going to steal this camera right now. So let me cut back to scene A, turn the overlay layer off. Here you go. And got my logo on. This is a nice layout. It's nice and warm. You got the shelf behind me. I don't use this camera a lot when we are live, but we are going to use it quite a bit more when we have the Rodecaster video plugged in because this camera is plugged in to channel 1 of the Rodecaster video. And I could adjust the lighting. I could adjust the camera settings. Let's see what I'm on right now. I am at f6.3. ISO 3200, 1/60th of a second, and I've got center focus on it. So should focus on whatever I put up there. Yep. So pretty decent. There is quite a bit of light to blow this out. And I wish I had more light in my eyes to give you those reflections, but I can't. So we're going to change webcams real quick. So I'm going to, let's see, let's switch to what channel here? Let's go to, which is a good one? Let's go to scene D. Okay, so you're going to see me stand up here. Got to move a camera. Hang on a second. Okay, let's cut back to G. Not perfect here, but we're going to zoom it out. Adjust my camera a little here. Then let's zoom out. Right there. Clean this up. Move this out of the way. And we've got the DS2. Let's change microphones here. Now I am on the wireless microphone. So we can push that SM7b out of the way. And you guys should be seeing, let's turn the logo on here. Where are we at here? There we go. And this is the Rode DS2. Now, if you guys have been around the studio, I have this stand right here, and it's got a rubber base, but these are pretty tall. I've got the Podmic on it. You can see the Podmic right there. And since Rode came out with this stand, I've been eyeballing it. So we're going to get this out of the box right now. There's the bottom of the box right there. Here is the back of the box. It tells you all about the DS2. You can see how you can position it, which I really like. So this mount is what comes on the USB mic, but this is the mount we're going to be unboxing. Here's one side of the box. Here's the other side of the box. Desk stand, attached mics, lights, phones, cameras, flexible positions, low noise operation. We'll see about that. There is the top of the box. It says DS2 desktop studio arm, and then barcode and Rode again. So it looks like this is where we need to open it. So we are going to break the seal here. Forgot the knife. Got lucky. As it looks like when you open it up, so we'll get it the right way. Nothing else in the box. And let's see. Does it have a flap? No, just got to pull it out the side here. Either side, or is there some kind of flap? Nope. So we'll pull it out like that. Another empty section of cardboard. And now it unfolds like this. Let's get our antenna out of the way. We don't break that. So inside here is a box. And you have the little pamphlet with a scannable barcode. And the instructions, looks like there's some putting it together. Super excited about that. And here's some screws. That's all that's in there. So slide this back in. Then you have this piece first. Got some phone protection in here. So we'll pull that off. Here's your phone protection. Little plastic bag. I'll tuck this back in here. I like to keep the boxes, even though the boxes are building up in my house. So we'll keep the pieces out, set that over there, and then nothing in here. And here is the weighted base. Lots of logos on it. And the plastic bag, nothing on it, little air hole. But there you go. So that has to be put together. So we're gonna take this and set this box aside. And three screws. So the two screws go underneath. So there is a little nut. Check. Don't know why the wireless audio is off. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully that wasn't off for a long time. Okay, let's try this again. Camera 6. Apologize about the audio, guys. So let's just do this. So this is kind of how I have it shaped, right like that. And that way I can set it on the desk and it reaches out to me nicely. Get like further away, you guys can see it. But I love that this is adjustable. So I can adjust it right here. I can adjust it right here. And this is a pretty good weight. So if you're going to lean it over this way, the weight of this is offsetting the device, which is great. So that way I can not have this sitting right up in my nose. I can shorten this up for shorter ladies. It's not in their face and it's not blocking video. And then you can angle the microphone and have it shoot past their face so they don't get plosives inside of it. So let's plug it in, combo jack 2. Plug it in. I don't see any way to organize the cable, so it's going to be zip ties. Okay. Actually, I don't have combo 2 live, so let's pull out my mic. Check, 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 check. So this is the pod mic on right now, plugged in the same place that my SM7b was plugged in. So give you an idea of what this stand looks like. So I think it's pretty cool. Just need to tighten things down, get it nice and adjusted, get it over to where it needs to be. A little higher for me. And then I can angle this up as well, tightening these knobs. And hopefully I won't wear the knobs out, but there you go. I've got audio and I'm using this microphone. So we're going to mute it and go back to my SM7B to wrap up. So there I have a key on tonight. It's not a perfect key. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing here real quick. For the green screen, let's go to D. There you go. So inside 5 is this key. So we're going to turn this on. You can see I have green selected. The key on and off is right here. I've selected this background, which I drug in from over here. So I could drag this other background in if I wanted to. And now I have that kind of background. Here's blue screen, here's Luma, and here's green. So I can then go down here and adjust the softness, hit the adjustment here. I can actually crop in the part that's not keyed. I could move myself over here and key all of this out, move my microphone over, and now I'm keyed because the green screen doesn't cover all of it. And you can still see there's a little bit of issues, but I could adjust the softness, the shadow. We'll go down here to lift, key gain to clear that up, Luma gain, Luma compensation, and obviously you have to play with the key settings, but there you go. And you can see if I reach out this way, I'm cropped off because the green screen doesn't cover that side of the screen. But with the firmware updates, you can now crop your green screen, and you don't have to have a background if you don't want to have a background. But I do have a background selected, and I am doing green screen effect. And so then I could use this, or I could just have no layer in the back. If I wanted to get rid of the layer in the back, and I could also create audio settings for this particular scene. And so again, this is input 5, which is my EOS R coming to my cam link, so I could show you my multi-view. If I had one more HDMI input, I would be running this EOS R into an HDMI input. It would look a lot nicer than it does right now, but I am keying that out. So I will turn this key off. So let's go back into the key settings. Let's turn it off. Then you just have the green screen behind me like that. So if I was to cut to camera 1 and then green screen it, then you can see that just that one section is black and I don't have a graphic in behind me. So, but you can see that it's keying out this side way over here, right here, because that's all that's behind me of the green screen. And I could put whatever I want back there. And up here is where you have the key source. Here's where you turn the key on the air. And again, you can do blue screen or Luma or green. And then you can go down here and the adjustments under adjust. Now it's set for transparent, but if I want to put a background behind it, I could add like multi-view. Right up there, you can see multi-view. I could put in another camera. Put camera 5 behind me. And again, there's very little green screen, so that's not really helping me much. So let's just keep it transparent so you can see how much green screen's there and how much is not there. But I just wanted to play with the green screen settings so you guys could see that and pop that green screen up real quickly. Let's pop it back down as we wrap up tonight. And again, it's not very well lit. Just keep that in mind. So we have been live for about an hour and a half. So obviously this camera angle is a lot better. I could cut to this view with the other camera behind me, but we'll stay right here. I have lots of scenes here. Let's just go through the scenes real quick. That's scene A, scene B, scene C, scene D, scene E, scene F, and scene G, which is me and the camera app. What I was trying to do is fire up the NDI app, but for some reason I can't assign 6. I'm going to try it one more time. Go to 6, input source. Yeah, it will not let me select NDI, which is a bummer. I would love to be able to show you around my desk, but we'll do that in the future live stream. But appreciate you guys joining with me tonight. Well, I'll just say a few more highs in the chat here. So the people that have popped on since, put chat on the air here. It's behind me, so I apologize. David says no audio. Yeah, I think I have that solved now. Pretty sure. Let me just double check. Testing 1 2 check. Testing 1 2 check. Testing 1 2 check. Yeah. Have audio. Now I have commercials on my own channel. So apologize for the lack of audio. Yeah, lots of people telling me late arriving. Good to have you, Doug, in the chat. Appreciate you joining me. Yeah, no audio. Thank you for joining tonight, Tony. I appreciate that, you coming in. Seemed that the arm hit the cut button on the RCV while you were putting it together, and that's when the scene switched the audio. Yeah, I think what I did is when I switched over to my wireless Go, when I changed scenes, I didn't have the wireless microphone audio on. It's kind of one of the things I don't like about the Rodecaster video scenes. You have to tell it what audio you want on, what audio you don't want off. So I wouldn't want my cameras on. So that's something I'm still learning how to do. I apologize for a hiccup. But again, anytime you stream for the very first couple times with a new device and you're trying to do all the things that I'm trying to do, you're going to have hiccups and you're going to have challenges. And again, I apologize for the lack of audio, but you were able to see the unboxing, and we have it together now. And so I'll test it out, put it on the table, and see if I like these. They're about $100. I bought this, I think, for $79. Plus, I used a Amazon Associate gift certificate that I got. So thank you for many of you on YouTube for purchasing my from my Amazon Associate links. That occasionally I get a $20 or $30 certificate. And then I use that for purchases here for the studio to unbox for y'all. Let's see what else. Good to have you, Jay. Thanks for saying hi. Good to have you, Craig, as well. Thanks for saying hello. David says, great show. Yeah, if I had audio working like it's supposed to work and I could get changed into NDI, I don't know why you can't change input 5 and 6 when you're streaming live. I don't know why I couldn't record tonight. So last week we had some weird glitches on YouTube. If you look at last week's video, I put chapter markers all the way through the challenging part. So you could just go through and see the different things we were trying. Finally, we had to reboot the Rodecaster video and relaunch the live stream. The good news is that YouTube kind of hangs there until you end the show. So just waited for a signal again. And if you watch the video back, there is no blank delay. it just started recording again for YouTube after I went live again. So if you were live with me last week, you did probably have to wait for me to come back. But if you watched that video after it was live, you didn't have to wait. So guys, got to make sure you find a place to put these adapters when you buy these things. I usually put them back in the package and put them in my main junk drawer. And I try to designate an area of my junk drawer to parts. Oops. So package that back up and put that in my drawer. Well, that's all I have for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. I sure did. Let's walk you through how I have to roll out. I do not have a scene or anything created. So let's see, how could we do this? I can change this back, this camera right here. So this is the view we're going to end tonight with and transition from it, making sure my audio is still good. So obviously the video I want to roll to is B. So I'm going to put B in the preview. And if you could see my multi-view, which I can show you guys my multi-view here. Let's see. That would be C. So we're going to switch to C. Did that work? No, don't want to roll that video yet. Get out of media. C. No. D. So obviously I've got to go in the media. And once I'm in media, this is your intro video, your outro video. I have these set so that when they play, the audio turns on and my microphone turns off. So let's switch something here real quick, just because I don't want to roll out this way. Let's change. What scene is this? E? Yeah, let's change this camera to 1. And I'll go back here. Change this to 5. What scene was it? Multi-view. Finally. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, you can see the little teeny tiny Rodecaster video there. Let's switch. There we go. Sorry, I changed this camera so we could end like this. So you can see the little Rodecaster video in the boxes over there in the multi-view. I'm going to push the scene button right here. The media button. Okay. And then I'm going to click on B to get it ready to cut. And you can see it's now in the preview. And when I go ahead and hit auto, that video is going to start playing the outro. My mic's going to go dead and we're going to end the live stream. So thank you so much for joining me live tonight. Thank you for being in the chat. I hope you'll please hit the like button. That really helps the algorithm. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I hope you're enjoying this adventure with the Rodecaster video. I know it challenges me. I have to spend more time. I spent part of yesterday and today getting ready, wrapping my brain around all the different buttons and all the things the Rodecaster video does. I still discover something every time I go live with it. Like tonight, why is it not recording? When I'm live, why can't I switch to NDI inputs in the cameras when I'm live? I don't know. I'll have to do more research and figure that out. But you can see a CamLink camera tonight. You can see a regular HDMI input camera. Again, this is the HDMI input. This is the CamLink input. Again, it's kind of grainy. It doesn't look that great. I totally agree with that. So again, push that button, get the outro ready to go. And I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. Thank you so much for joining me live. I hope it was long enough for you. I know I had a good time. I'm going to go chill with Shannon now, but thank you so much. And again, please hit the like button. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't answered the poll, before I bust out of here, I asked the question, do you own a Rode DS2 mic stand? And I have 11 votes, and 9% said yes, and 91% said no. So someone out there has a DS2. I'd love to have you say that's me. I have a DS2 in the chat. So thank you guys so much for the poll. I'm going to end the poll now. And again, thank you so much for tonight's live stream, joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I'll get some Rodecaster videos done this week. I'm just waiting till I can really know it well enough to teach on it. So that's why we're practicing live. So until next week, I'm Keith, Life Journey Production Studios. See you on the other side.